Hi everybody!
Hello!
Welcome back, CattaBlah Games. We're continuing on with Half-Life 2. Yeah, so, little recap. I mean, I guess you guys don't need a recap. You probably literally just watched the last one, but we're making our way to Nova Prospect, which I believe is a prison, if I recall.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Uh-oh. Oh yeah, so these little bally things, they're bombs.
Oh.
And they're... Yep. Exit! Exit!
Does it kill you?
Yeah, kinda.
Why isn't it exploding?
Well, it like electrifies.
Oh.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. So yeah, it's a prison. There's some... If I remember correctly, and I think it is the prison. The prison's pretty fun.
Oh, some sweet driving.
Thank you. There's oil slicks on the road, I swear. Uh-oh.
Holy crap.
Oh, hey. Wow, that was a sturdy fella. It's such a satisfying gun, it really is. Like, it just looks like it would really hurt to get hit by this gun. I love it. This is the best box breaking simulator I've ever played. It really is. Yeah, so this part's a little long going down this road. And there's like little camps set up throughout like this where they try and kind of lay traps for you. Let's get the old shotty. Stop. Whoa!
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't even care. I don't even have to dodge. I just stand there and take it. Take it like a man. Alright. Alright, Dustin. It's fucking hot as balls in here, so why don't you tell us a equally hot story?
Hot story?
Yeah, like a really hot story. What the fuck? Thank you. Oh, come on. What a dink.
You know what my favorite story of you is?
Of me? Oh, I don't want to hear one of those.
It's my favorite.
Uh-huh.
Involves your mom doing your laundry.
Oh, that story. I mean, it's funny to you just because you know my mom.
It's funny in general. I think everybody's kind of had one of those moments, though.
Maybe. So, I guess I might as well tell it. So, just as a background, I come from I'd say a fairly strong Catholic background. My family's fairly religious.
You have nuns in your family.
There's nuns in
very religious.
Not like directly in my family. They're like great aunts.
I thought it was your mom's.
No, it's like my mom's aunts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's like right there, but in the family. Anyways. So obviously like the whole sex before marriage thing, that's a no-no. But there was one time I was home. I don't know if it was for Christmas or what it was for. But my jacket was like super dirty. And so my mom, she had made mention of it like when I first got there, about how, oh, you know, it's dirty, she should wash it. And I was like, maybe. I didn't think anything else of it. But then one morning, I woke up and my jacket was gone. And I instantly thought, oh my fucking goodness. Because what I had forgotten was that in this winter jacket of mine, I had a condom in one of my pockets. So I woke up one morning and I walk upstairs, and on like the banister to the stairs, I see my beautifully clean jacket sitting there, and it instantly hit, like I didn't even remember. As soon as I saw the clean jacket, I remembered everything that was in the jacket. I was like, oh dear Lord. And so I went upstairs. I don't know where my mom was at this point, but I went up and into the kitchen, and I saw that all of the stuff that was in my pockets were laid out nicely on the counter. My wallet and my keys and my lip chap. All this on top of the condom that was sitting at the bottom, at the bottom of the pile of stuff, like, kind of hidden away. And to this day, my mother has not said a word about it. Like, she obviously knows about it, had something to say about it, because she took the time to take it out of my pocket and pile it neatly with my other stuff. But to this day, she has not said a thing. And to be honest, I think that might almost be worse than her having said something. Because you know she saw it, but she never said anything about it. So there's always the dash like, oh God, what did she think about that? Oh, right, there's something up there.
I grew up around your mom, and I can't see her being upset about it.
Like, she is, I don't know, I feel like she is not one to be super, love that gun. I don't know, understanding about stuff. She's cooler now, but back then she was not really super understanding about that kind of stuff. Like, I remember when one of my siblings, I think the first one to move in with, like, their boyfriend, like, my sister moved in with their boyfriend. I think she was the first one to do it. Like, they had a big was there anything in there? A big discussion about it. I remember, because we were out camping, and I don't know, they kind of had it away, the discussion away from me, but they had some words about it. But then at the same time, I don't think I can go through that. Yeah, I gotta go around. It was short, and then my mom walked away, and then I just remember my dad saying, I can't remember the exact words, but like, it was something like, you don't know what this is doing to your mother.
What?
Yeah. And I think that was maybe one of the only times I've ever seen my dad cry. Like, how shitty do you think my sister felt after that?
That's kind of awful, to be honest.
Oh. But it's just like, you know, you grow up with with that religion, with, you know, growing up Catholic, and that's just, like, that's a big no-no, right?
It is.
So when that's something you grew up with and, like, one of your values, and then your kids, like, one of your kids tells you that they're moving in with their their spouse. Yeah, I guess I could see how that would be.
Well, because you're living in sin.
Exactly.
And I get it from a religious aspect of it, but fuck, she must have felt
like a big piece of shit. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, how could you not?
And probably angry at your parents a little bit.
I don't know. It depends. What the fuck? Get that shit out of here. But, like, yeah, to have my dad cry about it, too, like a guy who never cried in his entire life, pretty much.
Yeah, your dad's hard as fuck.
Yeah, and then you're the one who makes him cry. Like, oh my gosh, you gotta feel like a big piece of crap.
That actually surprises me a lot.
I saw dudes run in here.
So how do they feel about your situation?
Like I said, I feel like that ground's been kind of broken now.
Yeah.
So they're not that bad about it anymore. But at the same time, like when I told them that we were gonna move in together, my mom just said, she's like, well, you know how I feel about this. And I said, yep, and then that was it.
Really?
Yep.
So they still don't like it.
Yeah, like obviously, like I feel like they kind of have to morally be opposed to it, but I don't think it's quite like the shocker that it was the first couple times, you know?
I don't know, I had a conversation with somebody that was, I don't think they were Catholic, for sure, devout Christian, but same sort of ideals. You don't move in with a person until you marry them, and premarital sex is a big no-no.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of part of the thing is like, oh, you guys are living together, you're gonna be sleeping in the same bed, we know what happens behind closed doors, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You know, the number one thing that I said to this person was, what's, you know, besides premarital sex, what is the number one blasphemy recognized by the church? And it's divorce. It's one of the biggest things. There's people.
Well, yeah, like in a Catholic faith, you have to get it annulled by. I can't remember exactly how high it has to go, but like before you can actually get divorced in the church's eyes, there has to be a very, very good reason.
Yeah.
Like not just anything anymore. It has to be a very good reason, like bad abuse or like infidelity. I think is one of them.
It can't just be, hey, we don't love each other anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not an excuse.
But what it said to this person was, you know, a lot of times people do get divorced because they get married and then they move in with each other and they realize they don't know each other.
Yeah, or can't stand each other for that matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, you live with each other for a year or 2 years and then, you know, you kind of understand, hey, is this the person for me? So, by having that ability to live with a significant other before you decide to marry them actually makes the probability of the other sin a lot lower.
Yes.
And promotes a healthier marriage, which anybody should want.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I started talking to this person is because they had said that there was divorces in their family and the parents of the divorce...
Oh, shit.
Like, ostracized those family members.
Yeah.
Because it was a sin and they had embarrassed their family and their faith. And I can't agree with that. Yeah, no,
the church has some pretty hard rules on that kind of stuff.
It's coming around though.
Well, with the new pope, he is a lot more progressive than a lot of the other ones were, and he's actually, you know, making a lot more strides in the church to, you know, start accepting science more and more of these like newer ideas, whereas a lot of time before it was very traditional, and like that was it. This is how it's been for, you know, thousands of years, and that's just how it's always going to be. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he's done some really good things. Like, why, you know, if, you know, you believe this other stuff, why could you not expect it to be, you know, evolve or mean, you know, the same thing but in a newer time?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, Jesus, where the fuck do you come from, you some bitch? Some bitch, pal monkey nuts. Well,
your parents would have been disgusted by me.
Oh, probably.
I've been caught with dick in hand more than once.
Oh my god, yeah, if that was my parents, oh my goodness.
Well, yeah.
I can't even imagine what they say to you.
I don't know.
It'd be pretty funny, though. I would very much enjoy that. Okay, there's another asshole. Don't... Okay, good.
I mean, I've come a long ways in belief-wise in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You and I had a mutual respect where we never ever talked about religion. But even if we did, it was always civil.
Well, see, the problem that I have with a lot of... I mean, I feel like this goes back more to politics now. Or I guess just anything. Is people don't know how to have a civil conversation about anything.
Nope.
They can't have a disagreement on anything because if you disagree, like you just you attack it. Like people attack each other instead of just talking it out and then be like, okay, well, we disagree. You know, I've told you. Instead of being like, okay, you know, I've told you where I stand on it. You've told me where you stand. You know, you've made some points. I've made some points. These are some things we can agree on. These are other things that we can't.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no, I hate you because you don't agree with all the same things that I agree with.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not black and white. You know, you don't have, just because you disagree doesn't mean that it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I don't know, that's how they act. It seems like it is the end of the world for them oh, fuck, this part stinks. I can't get up here and do anything, can I? Yeah, I gotta go across. Yeah, I don't know.
My whole, like, God, I can't even remember, but since I was a young kid, I think because I don't remember what happened. It was at a funeral, and somebody passed away. And I started asking questions about death.
Yeah.
And I remember having a conversation with the priest that had done the funeral procession. And from that point on, I think it must have been 7 or 8, and I told the priest, I said, that doesn't make any sense to me. And he said, well, you know, that's perfectly fine. But then he almost started getting mad at me for it. And ever since that point, from that age till my early 20s, I was atheist because of that. Because, okay, well, if there's a God and it puts people like this to represent him, then that's not a religion that I could ever believe in. Mm-hmm. And then it went back to the whole, okay, there's a lot of different religions in the world. And I remember thinking this, preteen? And my first thought was, with all these different religions, and I think we were learning about it in school actually, what are the chances that you were just born into the right religion?
Well, and that's a problem I have with it too, because you take your family's beliefs and religion, right? Like,
yeah.
Whatever your family grows up with, that's what you get. And yeah, like who's to say, like I mean, I'm speaking from the religion I grew up with,
yeah.
as God, everybody's got their own religion, but I don't believe in a God that would just say, oh, you guys chose the wrong religion, so nope, you're done.
You're going to hell.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't believe that a good God, if he's this good that we make him out to be, that he would do such a thing.
Yeah.
And when it's not your fault, like that's what you were growing up with, right?
Yeah.
So like, you can't be condemned for something that's not like that you had nothing to do with. There was no. It wasn't your fault, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm not even agnostic anymore. I have faith.
Yeah.
Where I believe in the same thing you do. You know, I may not believe in the church institution and all that stuff and going to church on Sunday or anything. And you know what? If that brings you closer to your faith, that's great. That's something you should do. But for me, I'd rather, because I do like volunteer work and whatnot on the weekends, and if I get penalized for not going to church, but I'm helping, my community and my fellow man out, then that's probably not a God I wanted to follow anyways. So that I don't believe in that God. My belief is you should be a good person if you have your faith, and as Steve Harvey would say, have your moral barometer.
Oh yeah, Steve Harvey is definitely the pinnacle of.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, my whole faith revolves around, and I wouldn't call myself Catholic or Christian or Muslim or anything. My whole faith is being a good person, and I have read most religious pieces of literature and whatnot. I've been through the Bible, read Old Testament. I've read a lot on Jewish faith. I've done a lot of Muslim reading as well. And I don't know. It's funny because you hear everybody saying, oh, my view is right, but going through them, a lot of them are the same. And it's funny to me.
Well, I feel like... Oh God
shit.
Damn it. Yeah, I feel like, if you believe in just being a good person, like, isn't that essentially what most of them are preaching? Like, yeah, obviously they got, like, some specific rules to follow, but, I feel like they kind of all just come down to, be a good person, don't be a fucking dick.
And I think being a good person has to change with the times. Like, for example, certain religions and certain old people truly believe that, for example, gay people are an abomination and house the devil in them, or, and a lot of Muslim culture where they are basically not perceived to have humanity. That kind of stuff should change with the times. Because being a good person, I think, is a social thing and not a religious thing.
No, exactly. Like, I don't think that you don't have to have religion to be a good person.
Yeah.
I know people who have religion and aren't as good of people as people who without, you know?
Yeah.
I like, they're not mutually inclusive for sure by any means. Oh, holy shit. Okay, we gotta stop the episode there. Yeah. We can continue on with this next time.
Next time.
See you guys later.
Goodbye.